Pregnant again and starting to feel that heaviness or bulging down there from prolapse, you're definitely not alone. Prolapse symptoms are super common in subsequent pregnancies, especially if your prolapse happened after your last birth. But the good news is there's so much you can do right now to feel supported and comfortable again, and that's what I'm gonna cover in this video. I'm Sophie, I'm a pelvic floor physio and an online coach, and if you're looking for pelvic health support to stay comfortable in your pregnancy and prevent your prolapse from getting worse through this next birth and postpartum recovery, I'd love to help. You can book a free discovery session in the description below. Let's jump into my 5 top tips to ease prolapse symptoms during pregnancy. Tip number 1 is exhale as you lift. We also say blow as you go. Whether you're picking up groceries, moving laundry, or lifting your toddler, always exhale before and as you lift. So it will look like you take an inhale, you pick up whatever you have to pick up, and you're exhaling at the same time. And that gentle breath out helps your core and pelvic floor work together and reduces the downward pressure that can aggravate prolapse when we breath hold. So if you catch yourself holding your breath while you're lifting, practice this simple shift. It truly helps. I remember I have a client who said that she kept doing that and her toddler actually started doing every time she would pick him up, which I found hilarious, but it was actually reminding her to keep applying this tip. So maybe your toddler will actually help you being consistent with this. Tip number 2 is to do your pelvic floor exercises, because your pelvic floor actually supports the pelvic organs, right? And if it's weak or if it has tensions and it restricts it from contracting properly and supporting you properly, then we can end up having more prolapse symptoms because that sling of muscles is just not doing its job properly. So if you are not working with a pelvic floor physio, I would highly recommend that you get assessed to see what type of exercises you should be doing. And don't forget to book a free prenatal discovery call if you want to speak with me directly, because that's something I can also help you with in terms of self-assessing. Do I have tensions in my pelvic floor? What do I need to do to help me move forward? So the link is in the description below if you want to speak with me directly. Tip number 3 is keep your stool soft to avoid constipation. Straining on the toilet adds tons of pressure to your pelvic floor and the organs, so that can again push everything down, right? So staying hydrated, eating fiber-rich foods, and if needed, maybe using gentle support like magnesium or even like chia seeds. I'm sure you can discuss with your healthcare provider different ways that you could address this, but small changes here can make a huge difference in your pelvic comfort. So definitely address constipation. This is one of the top tips that I give to all of my patients with prolapse symptoms. Tip number 4 is wear support garments. As your belly grows, that extra downward pull can increase pelvic heaviness. So support garments like pregnancy shorts or belts can lift that pressure off your pelvic organs and make standing or walking so much more comfortable. I've added some of my favorite options for shorts and belts in the description below if you want to check them out. And finally, tip number 5 is to avoid straining on the toilet at all costs. We've already talked about addressing constipation to keep your stool soft, but I also wanted to add, because I know some women also strain for peeing. They're just in a rush and they're just like fully like holding their breath and pushing their pee out to go faster. So don't do that. Really just focus on relaxing your pelvic floor, and I've got tons of videos about how to do that if you need more help in that regard. But really focusing on relaxing the pelvic floor, taking your time, don't push. Same with your poop. Even some people have nice soft stool, but they still strain for pooping for some reason. I don't understand that. But I would suggest, putting your feet on a small stool so your knees are higher than your hips. That's a common tip that I give to people to really improve how the stool is coming out, because when your knees are higher than your hips and you're in that squat position, it helps relax the pelvic floor and it avoids having to strain so much to let it out. Then once you start feeling like your stool is coming out of your rectum, you want to gently breathe and exhale as you're letting the stool out. So you'll be like... So those are my 5 simple, effective tips to reduce prolapse symptoms during pregnancy. And again, if you want to chat with me and see how I might be able to support you better in a more customized way, there's a link below to book a free discovery session with me. Thanks for watching.